Good evening, everyone. It is Sunday, September the 30th, 2018. We almost are done with the year 2018. My name is James Bush, and I am from Bush Counseling Services. And one half of that it is. And hello. So today is Sunday. Usually in the fall Sundays, we generally like to look at football or so. Do you want to tag a look? Nah, I'm not tagging you in there, cuz. But anyway, so generally today, we usually like to look at football. And one of the biggest things that I see as a therapist on my couch is I work with a lot of adolescents, and a lot of them are involved in football or different various sports. What's good, Cody? I know you're glad the Titans won today. You're probably about to get mad at a little bit of my post tonight, but we still cool at the end of it. So, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is with our adolescents is that some of them, they work hard, they train hard for these different high school athletics, especially football and basketball. They spend a lot of tour days within the summers. They go out, and falls are pretty much slammed with football practices and a lot of the things that go along with that. But then when I'm asking them, like, what other hobbies or what other things do you know about, or what other things are you involved in? There is anything, Pretty much all they know is athletics. All they know is football. They know how to read a 4-3 defense. They know what gut to go up, whether it's a 2-hole or the 4-hole or the 1-hole. They know a lot about those different things, but they don't know like basic skills such as how to balance a checkbook, how to open a checking account. What are the pieces of information that you need? Driver's license, the stuff that goes along with that. That the things are, I won't say that are important, but they are important. Things along those lines. A lot of these adolescent guys, they don't know. What's going on, T-Span? Thanks for tuning in. What's going on, Dr. Love? Thanks for tuning in. A lot of these guys, they just don't have an idea about that kind of thing. As far as basketball, they know how to run the motion offense. They know the boxing ones. They know how to box out. They know the outlet passes and everything that goes along with that. But when it comes to the things, necessities of life, about being man, responsibilities, how to mow a lawn, how to wash dishes, things like that, a lot of them don't know. They're not well-rounded. Key in point, a lot of their identity is wrapped around athletics. And who do I blame about that? I blame the adults in their lives. Yes, I do. Because one of the worst things that I've seen is that for a kid who spent the last 15 years training, breaking his body, looking to do different things at trying to get to that next level. And then all of a sudden, he gets to college, blows his knee out, hurts himself. Then he loses his college scholarship. And then the depression sets in because his whole life, his whole identity was wrapped up in that idea, in that dream. That was his only source of motivation and the only thing he believed that could help him get from where he was. That's ridiculous. And unfortunately, that's where a lot of our adolescent males are today that I've seen. What's going on, Kyra? Thank you for tuning in. That's where a lot of them are. They're not well-rounded. Am I saying there's anything wrong with athletics? In no way am I saying that. To no degree. However, our kids have to have more within them than just one solitary focus. When they talk about males and depression, again, and suicidal ideation, that kind of stuff is just natural. It goes along with saying. One of the biggest statistics that I noticed is that when men are finished with professional sports, 60 to 80% of them are getting divorced. That's higher than the average American rate. 60 to 80% of professional athletes get divorced after they're done playing. So what does that tell you? Again, like I said, let's take the timeline. Grade school, middle school, elementary, tour days, when we could be learning the internship of maybe working at a lumber yard or working in an office or working in some type of trade, being more well-rounded, learning social skills, learning how to connect and talk to people, planning for business after professional sports is done. Because again, Father Time is undefeated, but we're not preparing them for that. And so then they end up in situations where they're not ready to embrace society or embrace the world beyond athletics. And then where does that lead them? That leaves them unprepared. That leaves them behind. That leaves them chasing others. And so then what do we say then? And who do we blame again? I blame the adults. So my biggest thing is I want our kids to be more well-rounded, you know. Yes, use athletics. If you can use athletics to get a college scholarship, a full ride where you don't have to play Sally Mae, Navient, William D. Fedlones, and all those other guys. What's going on, Shay? I'm all for it. Use athletics as a tool, but don't let that tool use you. Because again, it's like a conveyor belt, it's like a factory. Once the program is done with you, they're done with you. They'll have you out and somebody else that is in your place within a heartbeat. It's funny because when you look at Duke basketball, when you look at the bench, every one of those guys pretty much could go start at some other program within the country because that's how good they are. And that's how expendable you are to them at that point. I'm not saying anything that nobody doesn't know already, but what I want people to do is to think, to use their brains when it comes to this situation in our adolescence, because a lot of them are not prepared. And that's just the truth of the matter. You know, they're not prepared to have life or to live life beyond this. So they go to school, maybe they don't do well in college, then they drop out. What's left for them? What's next for them? Again, their whole identity has been merged, has been enmeshed with this idea of sports. But there's nothing else there. And who's there to show them? They have a mother, they have a father, they have people in the community. Everybody's celebrating. Everyone is saying how good and how great they are in this era or in this aspect. And a lot of them are gifted. And a lot of them are fast. And a lot of them can jump out of the gym. But again, what else can you do? What else can you do? What other gifts, what other talents do you have? How can we go and develop them so that you not just be a one-trick pony, but you be well-rounded? So those are some of my big things that I like to discuss, especially with my clients. So for more on this topic and topics like this, visit us at bushcounselingservices.com. Again, let's teach our kids to be more well-rounded, to think. Let's teach them how to go out there and not just work for the business, but own the business. Let's show them what real power is. It's not just always getting a check from somebody, but cutting the checks themselves. And education and thinking, when it's done right, when you teach them early on, can do that for them. However, if we just continue just to push them along and encourage them, what does that do? How does that help them? How does that help them build social relationships when they get older so that they won't be part of that 60 to 80% marital divorce statistic? How does that help them? How does that prepare them? Y'all take it easy.